first thing a casting director does when they come onto a project, and I'm talking about projects that are projects you'd want to be on, like TV shows you've heard of, films that get a release, jobs that are a full theatrical SAG-AFTRA contract that pay about $1,100 now a day. We read the script thoroughly and we create a breakdown, which is basically a list of all the roles that we are looking to cast. The project that brought me to Atlanta, we had to cast 55 speaking roles, which is pretty typical for a big feature film. So we read the script thoroughly and we create a breakdown, which is basically a list of all the roles that we are looking to cast. And then I put it on one of the casting platforms, which the most popular one and the one I used for this project was Actors Access. So we send out a breakdown and then we hold our breath because we know once those submissions come, our lives will not be our own anymore. When you're working on a big project, you don't have time for self-care, to eat, to go to the bathroom, and to be with your family. And just ask my daughter about that. You wouldn't believe how many submissions we get for just one role. Like, for instance, there was a role of a teacher in this film that I was casting, and we got 1,200 submissions. Going through those really, really fast. We are just looking at the thumbnails because that's what we see first. We scour through the thumbnails, and the thumbnails that grab our attention, that are emotionally compelling, we're more likely then to go look at their media, which is the second most important thing in your Actors Access page, is your media. And the best demo reel is a minute long, and that the first 10 seconds are amazing. Close up so we can see you right away and we can decide whether your acting is undeniable or not. And those of us that have been doing this a long time, we can pretty much decide within 10 seconds whether you're a good actor. And I really think that if all of you would see a bunch of demo reels in a row, you too would be able to choose the actor after 10 seconds. We do tend to trust the actors that have an agent, that they are submitted by their agent. That is really important. We do look at that. And what I was so shocked at when I first got to the Southeast market is that and we can see the submissions by agency, right? So sometimes to make our lives easier, we would just go into the agencies that we know very well and see what their submissions are. I didn't do that. I wanted to see all the submissions, but we've got to streamline our process at every juncture. So I was shocked at how many agencies are in the Southeast, are considered in the Southeast. Hundreds. So even just going through the agency submissions that way, that would take a really long time. In order to make our lives manageable, what we will often do before we even go into the submissions is start making lists of people we know already, or that we have seen in a play, or that we have seen on a comedy stage or in an improv show. You see where I'm going with this? So if we have seen you perform already, or we've worked with you before, you're going to be at the top of the list. Oh, and we have to love you. So if we love you and we've seen you perform before, or we've hired you before, you will be on the top of the list. You want to get on that top of the list.